Hello, my name is Codoking, and today we're gonna go through our first coding journey and we're gonna learn about how to write our first code in Python and we're gonna learn about how to print, how to assign stuff, how to input and output, and a bit of formatting. That I'm inside my IDE, we can learn how to hack into NASA. Okay, jokes apart, the first thing that we want to do is printing something. So in order to print something, we cannot just write the message over here, my name, and it expect it to print over here. So print is whenever you try to display something. This is called a terminal. Whatever you write in here, it's gonna give some kind of output over here. And output is basically the message or the result that it comes out of from your coding. So whenever you write something, something here should be showing up. So nothing is showing up over here because this text is wrong because the computer doesn't understand what my name is Codoking means. We need to use the language called Python. And the red text shows that we have a syntax error. So we can erase all of that. And so we have to tell the computer that we are trying to print something. So in order to do that, we write print. Hold on, let me minimize this. We have to write print. Then we open and close parentheses. Inside we write quotation marks and we print my name is Codoking. Then we can run it up and it's working just fine. We can also try something else. We can write our age. So I am 22 years old. Let's try running it now. It's working just fine. So I put double quotation marks in both. What if I put no quotation marks at all? So let me put no quotation marks at all and see what happens. It's not gonna read it because every language has its own grammar rules and Python has its own. So for Python, you should put quotation marks before and after a whole sentence or text that you want to display or store. So in this case, we're trying to display this text. We can try using one quotation mark and see if it works. And it works. So it works for single quotation marks and double quotation marks. Either of the two is fine. However, you cannot mix them up. You cannot put single quotation and double quotation together. As you see, it's showing a red line below it because it's gonna give an error, and we can try it up and it's giving an error. So don't do this, don't mix and match, just stick to one, and that would be your basically default. Okay, that is pretty boring right now because we have just kind of written something and pasted it over here. It sounds like a copy paste thing. We can assign this value to something that we call a variable. So what is a variable? We're gonna learn about it. So I'm gonna call this variable name, okay? So name equals Codoking. Now we can also write another variable and we call it age and we can write 22. So what happens is that I'm actually now 22, but I'm just saying 22 because I like this number. So we didn't put any quotation marks over here, but it should work just fine. The reason is that 22 is actually a number. Whenever you want to use a text, you have to put an encapsulated inside this quotation marks. Whenever you want to save a number or use a number, you can just write the number itself. Now one might ask, so why didn't I put this out of the quotation marks? Well, simply because 22 can either be a text or a number. So whenever you write a letter, you write the number 22, it's a text. But whenever you use it for calculations, it's gonna be regarded as a number. So because of that, there's a difference in there. So we are gonna encounter this problem later on, and I'm gonna make you understand there why is that important. But right now, you're good to go. So we can print this whole thing. My name is. Now, one thing that you can do is put a comma after your first part, and then you can write the variable. So my name is comma name. So it's gonna put my name first and it's gonna print it. Then it's gonna create a separation and it's gonna print your name, which is this part over here. So my name is Codoking. As you can see, it printed all right? These two lines are the first two lines from here. Then we got this line, my name is Codoking, from here. What if I don't put this part in here? I will just get the name associated with it. Codoking. Now what's happening in here? Why am I not getting name? What happens if I put this in quotation marks? Let's just see. So it's not putting the name, but it's putting the text name. So for that, we need to understand a bit of variables. So variables are basically data types, and the main thing is variable over here. So a variable is something that stores data. So a variable is something that stores data. So in this case, we are gonna call name, and this is going to be our variable. This is the name of our variable, and the name of the variable is name. So we put equal, and this is called assigning. So we are assigning to the name this string over here, Codoking. The fact that we put the quotation mark over here, it means that it's gonna be recorded as a text and it's gonna go inside name. So imagine as if there is a box and the box is in the property of name. So name has this box over here. So I'm gonna put inside the box the text Codoking. But whenever I'm gonna call the variable name, so in this case, print name, I'm referring not just to the text name, I'm referring to this variable over here. And when I refer to this variable, what's gonna happen is that I'm gonna try to print something, so it's gonna go to name, and it's gonna be like, okay, what does name has inside its box? So inside its box has Codoking, so it's gonna print Codoking. Same goes for age. So we have the variable age equals 2022. So what is gonna happen is age will have this box over here. Then the number 22 is gonna go inside. Again, it's not the text 22, but the number 22, because we assigned this value over here. So if we print just the age, it's gonna print 22. So having understood that, if we want to just print the name and the age, we can do it like this. Print name, print age, and we get Codoking and 22. What about these two? These two are from here. I'm gonna create some spacing. So a way to create some space is just printing nothing at all. If you print nothing at all, it's gonna create some space. Because we have seen that whenever we create a print function, we write over here print, a new line is created. So just writing a print without anything is just gonna create a new line. There are a lot more ways in order to create new lines, but this is just one of them. So here I have written this, and as I said, if I want to add something before, I can write it inside the quotation mark, and then put a comma in here. Same goes here. So it's gonna say I am, gonna give you the age, then I can put a comma again here and put year old here. Let's write up. My name is Codoking. I'm 22 years old. Now, one thing that you can notice is that it creates automatically a space over here. I didn't put any space inside the quotation mark. And it doesn't matter if I have a space over here, it's going to give the same thing. So why is that so? I didn't put any space, but it's creating some space on its own. Because that's how it is. Can you change it? Yes, you can. So for that, we have to learn a bit about formatting. So in here, we learned about assigning, and here we learned about printing. So what I'm doing over here, as you can see, I'm putting a hashtag before whatever I'm writing, so that when you do that, whatever you write inside or after the hashtag is regarded as just a comment. So it's not going to be counted as a code itself. So it's not going to give any error, or it's not going to be counted as a code or run. It's not going to run in the code. It's just going to be something that you write in order for you to understand. Let's print it up. As you see, this thingy right here has no effect at all. Like Yamcha has no effect on Dragon Ball Super anymore. Okay, said so, we can move ahead and let's imagine a scenario where you don't want the space. Like for example, you could be writing price equals 30, and you want to write something like let's write 9,000. This bottle of water is over $9,000. What happens over here is that you get a space over here, but usually when you write a price, there's no space in between them. So to avoid this problem, what we can do is we can introduce the format function. So the format function is that you put an F before the quotation mark and put everything inside the quotation mark at first. So everything is inside the quotation mark. All right. So what we do right now, we can try running it, and we don't get the 9,000. We instead get price, the text price. So this is not regarded as a variable, it's regarded as a text because everything is inside the quotation mark. So what's the F doing? Nothing much right now. So in order to make this a variable, or make it so that the print reads it as a variable, you have to put curly braces. You put this within curly braces and then run it. That is great. We got everything here, but inside the quotation mark we also got the comma. We don't want comma, we don't want spaces, so we erase all of that. We run it and you see no space over here. It's running just fine the way we want it. So this is what we call a format function. You put the F before the quotation mark, everything inside the quotation mark, and whatever variable you wanna be read as a variable, you put it into curly braces. Now, What if you want to write it like this? What if you want to write this? Napa, his power level. It's over 9,000. How do you do this? Let's run it. Should work. No, it doesn't work for some reason. What's the reason? Well, you see here, you use the quotation mark over here, and you have a quotation mark over here as well. Seems alright, but what about this quotation mark? I know you use this as an apostrophe, but it's reading it as a quotation mark. How do you avoid that? Because what the program is doing is that it's saying, okay, from this part to this part, it's all text. After that, it is whatever it is. The computer is not able to read whatever it is. Then it starts a text again, but it doesn't know where it finishes because there's no closing quotation mark over here, but there's an opening one. So this is supposed to be kind of used as something else rather than the quotation mark that we use in the text. To do so, we use a backslash. So there are gonna be multiple characters like that to avoid this error or this problem. We put a backslash before the special character. In this case, the special character is our quotation mark, and the whole thing is gonna be read as a text. So the quotation mark is no more regarded as a quotation mark over here, but it's regarded as a text-based quotation mark. So it's not part of the syntax anymore, it's just a text. So let's run it over here. And here we go. We see the apostrophes over here. It's working just fine. Todo bien. Yeah, my Spanish is kind of wanky, man. Tutto bene. The Italian is alright. So say so. We have it reading all over here. So it seems pretty easy. Now we can move on to user input. So what we do over here is formatting. Now we're gonna learn about user input. So this is again very basic stuff, very boring stuff. Let's ask something to the computer now, because we don't want to just write a code that just does everything on its own. We want to put some information and for the computer to work for us. So what we do is we input something. So in the same way we declare a variable, we do name equals input. Let's call it a different variable, okay? Let's call it name2. So name2 equals, we have to write input, and we have to write age2 equals input. Then we can write my name is. We can use the format function right now, right? Because we know how to use it. My name is the variable name2, and I am age2 years old. Now let's try running it. So what happens here is that the code is still running. So what we can do is we can write something in here. We can write the first name because it's asking for an input. So the first name is gonna be Vegeta, and my age is 99 years old. Let's just try this out. So it says my name is Vegeta and I'm 99 years old. So it works just fine. But again, how's the user supposed to understand that you have to put the name here and the age here? You have to put some message or some text in over here. So you just use your quotation marks and you put the text over here. Enter your name. Enter your age. Enter your name. Doofus. Enter your age, jerk. Alright, let's try it now. So it says enter your name, doofus. So I'm gonna write Goku. Enter your age, sure. So I'm gonna write 3. So it says my name is Goku and I'm 3 years old. That's kinda weird for Goku to be imagined at 3 years old for him. Some people, but you gotta remember that Goku started as a kid, man. So we have understood a lot of stuff today. We have understood how to input stuff, how to output stuff, how to format stuff. So thank you for sticking out. I got an exercise for you. So my exercise consists of you trying these exercises over here. You gotta print this little bunny over here. We got some text art. Well, they're called ASCII arts. So you can do this kind of stuff. And we have also this printing stuff over here. Now we also have some input and output and basic operations over here. I don't want you guys to do it right now, but we will be discussing about it next time in the next class. Meanwhile, I'll be very excited to see you on the next one, and have a good one, my friend. So thank you so much.